today is the video number 1, and it's a biggie. It's the one that I think most of us struggle to answer, and it's probably the question I've been asked the most, which is, why don't I know what I want? Now, I think that although on the surface of it, there's this inertia to try and figure out why it is that I don't know what I want, big blank, it's actually not such a difficult question to answer. So I'm going to approach this from a psychological perspective. The idea that we don't know what I want circles back to our earliest days. Remember when you were a baby? Most of us don't. But if you've got kids or you've seen parents parent their children, what would you say you've noticed? Right? Especially in this day and age. And I'm not calling out anybody because I've done it myself. What they tend to do is the baby will cry, or the child will scream, or the child will say, I want. And the parent has a reaction to that, a response to that. Now, the majority of us will say something along the lines of, you can't have it, or it's not good for you, or no, but typically what we want is met with resistance. And it's not because they don't want to give it to us. It's either that they can't give it to us, they themselves don't want to give it to us, or they believe that the thing that we're asking for is not good for us. Either way, what we grow up with, and this conditioning persists, and then we layer that in with societal conditioning, what we believe society thinks we should have, or how we think we should behave. So all of this is a conditioned response to a child. And when we wake up inside of a life where we're going, I don't know what I want, it's actually a beautiful signal that we are shifting into adulthood. We're maturing out of the child being okay with being told what we want. And so it's a beautiful signal to say, hey, I'm ready to mature. I'm ready to step into knowing what I want and learning to put that out into the world, which can be really scary. And that's a topic for another day. So essentially, it's other people have shaped for us what they believe is good for us. And in short, it's not malicious. People are not trying to harm us. They often want us safe. They want us successful. They want us accepted. They want us loved. But love comes with conditioning. And sometimes those conditions move us further away from who we are rather than closer to it. And so we learn the rules. We learn what gets praised. We learn what gets punished. We learn what makes us acceptable, what makes us belong, what makes us good little girls, nice little boys, and also what makes us difficult, and also what makes us impressive, especially as adults. Those lovely certifications that we love to chase, or the money in the bank, or the fancy car, right? And so our wants also then start to become confused with the shoulds. We should have a stable job. We should have a sensible relationship. We should have kids, or we shouldn't have children. We should be grateful. We should be easy. We should be quiet. Don't make a fuss. Do the right thing. Keep everyone comfortable. Make sure that everybody's happy. Put everyone else before you. So, you get the picture. Okay? And eventually, our shoulds get so loud that we don't actually hear what we want. Wants then become impermissible in our lives. Yeah. And that's when we wake up inside of a life that is not ours anymore. Yeah. So we have the house, and this happened to me. So I did all the right things. I ticked all the right boxes. And I even had a husband at the time that asked me, who is it that you are trying to impress because you're chasing all these things, but you're not happy? And it just didn't clock, didn't land. It's interesting because we can get into that and it can feel really good. So I just want to highlight that. It can really feel good to chase the shoulds and to tick the boxes. It can feel really good. Our brain has a wonderful way of giving us those dopamine hits, right? Underneath it, though, what happened to me is that I got the corporate career. Eventually, I chased it, and eventually got it. At the same time, I finished my degree, something that I thought I had to do. I loved it. I loved putting myself through the paces, setting up myself for the challenge, and then even graduated double major with a distinction in anthropology and just missed it with the psychology. Fell pregnant, had baby, tripled my salary in just after having my baby, and then, put into a position of leadership. So I ticked all the boxes and ended up, because of savings and retirement and bonuses and blah, 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 with $1 million in the bank. So hit my 6 figures. Also, at the same time, postnatal depression, severe anxiety, a marriage that I just felt I got the ick, couldn't stand him anymore, which was a really strange thing that happened in that moment. I think complete overwhelm with life. On the outside, I was successful, hit all the successful according to all my shoulds, and slowly dying inside. I got to a point where I couldn't digest food anymore. My body just couldn't take anything from it. Slowly starting to dissolve, really, fall apart. So at some point you do look around yourself and you realize I built this around what I was supposed to do, but I don't know that it actually feels like me. I don't feel at home in my own life. And so the feeling can be subtle. It doesn't need to, and gradual, It's not like I woke up one day and was like, oh, this life doesn't feel like mine. It was just like, oh, the symptom is getting progressively worse. I'm sitting in a bathroom for 6 hours a day. I don't want to come out. Or going to the doctor and him telling me your digestive system is completely shutting down and there is nothing chronically wrong with you. There is a stress in your life that is causing this to happen. It's not because of a disease. Although I'm sure if I had continued on that track, I would have landed with a chronic disease. And we know the research is there that women have these chronic diseases because they minimize themselves. They don't allow themselves to actually exist in their lives, in their own lives. And so I want you to realize that this waking up is a gradual process, this realization that something is off. I don't feel like myself anymore. I don't feel like I belong in my own life. Nothing is feeling like me anymore. The things that used to make me feel very excited and happy are just, they're not doing the same things. My sex drive is completely tanked. I'm not creative. Essentially, you end up in survival brain. Okay? And so it doesn't have to be dramatic. There's a numbness, a disconnection. So let's talk about feelings quickly. Emotions, a disconnection from life can build up a lot of resentment, anger, boredom. And then we enter into the world of chasing addictions. So flatness or a quiet sense that there's just isn't much of you left. So the real question that I want to drop into this is really, this doesn't feel like me, but then what is me? Because when you wake up in this life that says, where am I? There's nothing around me that is me anymore. Often what we transition to, well, if this isn't me, then what is me? Where do I belong? Where do I start to begin to feel myself again? What feels like mine? And that's really where it gets tender, a little raw, the moment when the old identity is starting to lose its grip and you end up in this place of, oh shit, I don't know who I am anymore. It's not just about, I don't know what I want, but underneath it is, I don't know who I am. Who am I? How do I begin to find out who I am? And so not knowing what you want is not about a lack of desire. It's a loss of contact with who you are, with yourself. So don't force yourself into a perfect answer. As I know you guys are very good at doing perfect answers. I see you people pleasers. Don't do that. Stop. Just start by asking yourself, what was I told to want? And what no longer feels like mine? And if you're ready for uncovering a little bit more about what part of you is stuck in this whole world of want, is it the clarity? Is it the permission? So you know what you want, but you're not giving yourself permission to want it. Or is it that you're scared to say it out loud? Because it's one thing to say it in your mind. It's maybe one thing to say it to the mirror. Speak it into life and to say it to somebody. Say it out loud or say it to the world or say it to your partner. It's a whole different thing. We need a little bit of courage, conviction, someone to rah-rah you in that space maybe. Or is it about learning to sit with whatever the consequence is of speaking your want out loud? If you're ready to understand and unpack that a little bit more, then I'll leave a link to the quiz below. And again, invitation is there. If this provoked anything in you, if it made you think about something, you want to engage in a little bit of a conversation, hit me up in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe. See you for question 2. It's going to be a doozy.